Just when you thought that the chess world couldn't get any more exciting, you get hit with the news that, yeah, along with video games, chess is now going to be in the Esports World Championship. So mark your calendars for the event coming up soon. But what I'm going to be showing you in this video, ladies and gentlemen, is some of the games from the LCQ, I believe. LCQ, yes, it stands for the Last Chance Qualifier. This is a group of games played by a group of players who are trying to get the last four spots in the group of top tier chess players to go and play in the 2025 edition of the Esports World Cup. So very exciting news coming up. I believe the actual start time for the chess portion is like on the 28th or 29th. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. Pretty sure. But for now, we're just going to be going over some of those games in the LCQ. Very excited for that. And again, online 10-0 games, I believe. Very exciting stuff. Chess is in the Esports World Cup. I mean, this is like legendary stuff. You know, we always think of video games, Fortnite and Valorant, all those games. But now, chess is there and the greats are coming. Magnus, Fabi, Hikaru, and then, the young guys are coming too. So very exciting stuff. Let us just jump right in. First game I'm going to be showing you is a game that is played by Alexander Grischuk, and it's played against this person. It's not their real name. It's just Cold Majed. I don't know. Here we go. And Grischuk is playing with the black pieces. Here we go. Starts with d4, knight to f6, knight to f3, and g6. He goes for a King's Indian right off the bat. Very solid opening. If you are looking for non-confrontational, solid stuff, definitely go for that. Sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Just very good opening, very solid. Now we have h3, and so his opponent is 22-11, and he is 25-96. So bit of a upend, I should say, of you know what I mean, of ratings, difference in ratings. d6, and white goes bishop d2 and c5, and Grishuk goes for this thing with his pawn and his queen there, and white offers a queen trade. Instead we have this and this. Clearly Grishuk thought that this is better for him. Knight goes to d2, bishop c6 now, and now we have this. And again, he's a very strong player, very experienced player, so I think he knows what he's doing. I mean, he just had a little, kind of trapped the bishop there, but we'll see what happens. We have this. Okay, so again, the things he finds, just the moves he finds. His bishop was attacked, right? It wasn't, totally gone for. But he finds this pawn, the knight takes the pawn, attacks the bishop. White has to do something, right? If they don't, they go here, and then we have this, okay? It's okay. King to h1, now bishop takes c6, and now he's up 2 pawns, I believe. Yeah. He still has 8 pawns to 6, okay? Now bishop g5, and I just love the way, I confess I haven't seen a lot of his games, but when he plays his A game, he really plays his A game, just a great positional player. Rook fe8, rook fe1, gets the knight out. Now he goes h6 to kick the bishop out. Bishop h4, b5. He stabilizes the pawns. He stabilizes that area and the knight over there. Now knight to b3. And this move, okay, so he's attacking the rook. Rook goes to b2. It's like one of the only moves. And now he has this. Okay, and the rook goes back to defend the knight, obviously. Rook goes to rook dc2. Knight to e4. Takes, knight takes, c4. Now we have a knight sacrifice here, but we have this. Okay. And now here he comes with the rook, so you better be careful. King to h2. Okay, he doesn't want to be threatened he doesn't want to threaten any checks or anything. Rook to a1. Okay, we have this, so his opponent just ignores it and goes h4. He takes, and now rook to c8, and now we can bring the knight, and advance that pawn. Rook to c4, knight to b6, rook to c2. Now he's going to bring the pawn, obviously. Okay. Great, great move he found. I mean, unbelievably good move he found here. All right, and his opponent resigns because he will have to either part ways with the rook, which nobody wants to do, or he will have to do this, which obviously nobody wants. And he's obviously going to win a bishop and rook. Very, very nice game here. And I mean, just unbelievably nice tactical. Just this bishop to b2 was the real clincher here. Attacking the rook, also defending the knight. And after the bishop took, you have this, and you have to lose either the rook or the game. So technically, those are the same things. Great first game to start out with. Let us move on to the next ones. And folks, don't you just love that chess has grown so much over the past like few years alone, you know? Just like we've seen sponsored, like for the World Championship, for example, last year, between Gukesh and Ding, we saw Google was the sponsor. I mean, when was the last time a provider that big, like Google, was the sponsor of a chess event? It doesn't happen, you know. And also the players of the esports World Cup for the chess players. Have you seen like the jerseys they get? They're being sponsored by like huge brands. It's just so fun to see, you know, brands finally getting into stuff like this, and we really need to do more stuff for these players, you know. And it's just so fun to see all the stuff that's happening recently, you know, just in the past few weeks and stuff alone. Let's go on to the next game. Game number 2, we got a very nice matchup here. Denis Lazovic. I say matchup, but I don't really know who his opponent is. It's David Anton Guyaro. That's what I got. But again, this is just as a reminder, 10-minute rapid, and this is for the last chance qualifier. So the players, there were 4 spots left. I don't know if it's done or not, but last time I saw it was like at round 7 or round 6 of this of the last chance qualifier. So here we go. d4, knight to f6, c4, e6. Again, Denis Lazovic is playing with white pieces. Knight c3, bishop b4, and a3. So his opponent goes for a Nimzo Indian. Again, very, very strong opening. Bishop takes c3 now, and b takes, and c5. Actually, I have faced Nimzo Indian with as being a d4 player, and I have found that a lot of people go a3, and I don't know. It's kind of a trade-off for me between that and bishop d2. I don't know. I feel like bishop d2 isn't very good though. I don't know. I wouldn't go something like queen c2 to take with the queen, because that just doesn't seem right to me. And also the knight gets in there. So in this case, I hate to do this, but if we have this, the knight gets in there, and then you just have to move the queen again. You know, like I don't know, here or something. And it just, it's too much moving without actually doing something. Anyway, we have this, and c5, knight c6, e4, d6, knight to e2. And, I mean, Denis gets a nice position. He has nice control of the center. Didn't block in his light square bishop too much. He can definitely get out the dark square bishop at some point. h5, bishop to e2, and we go h4 to limit the movement of that pawn there and the knight and so forth. C takes d4, castles. C takes, so d takes c3 actually, and bishop to e3. So he just ignores both of those things and goes for his own little attack here. e5, queen to d3, bishop to e6. He's going to pick up the pawn, castles, rook fd1, rook ac8, and just you can see the attack mounting on both sides. Notice the rooks, notice the queen, notice the bishops, especially for white, because black doesn't have any bishops. But I mean, just definitely a lot of ideas here for both sides. Some potential pawn breaks. Queen to d2, knight to d4, bishop takes, pawn takes, and knight to f1, queen to c5. You take now. You take on a3. Now rook to a1. Kick the queen out and take on a7. Bishop takes e4. Bishop takes, queen to a. We have a. Sorry, I said queen takes. I didn't mean to say that. I meant queen takes. Sorry. Rook to c4. Knight to e3. So we have a the queen exchange. The knight attacks the rook, and it also, when that happened, well, that happened before that. But also, the rook sees the pawn on d6, but it can't take, obviously, because the rook is there. So, you know, I'm thinking like rook to a6. Rook b6 is a little bit too passive. Well, also, you could say that for rook to a6 too. Just a lot of ideas. Rook c5, though. We do have rook to b7, b5 here, and he anchors that pawn, the pawn on e5, with f4. And now we have knight to d6 and knight to g6. Knight takes f7. And he's moving the knight around. All right, moving the little knight around. He goes here and checks, and then he goes, okay, check. He's gonna pick up the knight. He's up a pawn. Yes, he's up a pawn. He gives black gives away another pawn because they're just trying to advance. And now we have rook to b6. I'm thinking for white, maybe throw in a check somewhere, either rook to g4 or rook to d7, which is actually what he plays. He plays rook to d7 check, which is a pretty good move. King g6. Now g4. Now he's advancing his own pieces. Now we have this. Okay. And now you can pick up the pawn. But he doesn't want to get checked right away, so he goes king to f2. He takes here, goes here. Now he picks up the pawn. Okay, now it's just totally winning because he has two pawns. Check here, and it's mate. So he checkmates a guy in this position. It's crazy, yeah. It's a very nice ending to the game and a very nice win for Dennis, for sure. And yeah, let's move on to the third game. This is the game you all have been waiting for. Here we go. Like I said, this is the game you've all been waiting for. We've got the Grand Poobah right now, Hans Niemann, against Volodar Muzian. If you don't know who Volodar Muzian, here's like a 10 to 15 second explanation on who he is. He's basically a teenager who won the Rapid Championship last year. That's all you need to know. All right. So do you remember that little controversy, little riffraff thing about Magnus and Nepo splitting the title for the Blitz portion of the Rapid and Blitz? Well, this guy was the one who won the Rapid portion. All right. Very strong. I think he's a teenager, guys, but very strong guy. 25.94 Rapid against Hans Niemann, the Grand Poobah right now. And he's rated 27.21. Let us go. Here we go. Volodar is playing with the white pieces. d4, knight to f6, knight to f3, and d5. Bishop to f4, f6. We have this and this. And so he goes for like a London with knight to e5, c5, and queen to f3, bishop b7. Turns it, it's London, but like a little bit more of a sideline. Interesting way to play it. So ultra aggressive here. He goes here, and he gets in. I mean, just unbelievably aggressive here. He sacks the knight. All right, sacks the knight. Just crazy stuff. F takes, queen takes, check, and he goes here. Okay, and just black has to give away the rook. So now we have actually it's two pieces for a rook though. So for black has two pieces for a rook. Now black takes bishop, and queen takes bishop. Knight to g6, queen g4. We back up here and kick the knight out. Go here. Trade queens. All right. Knight goes back to d6, h5, knight to f8. The rooks are mobilizing over to the king side. Now this pawn break is very nice because you can take and here and you can get in with the rooks. All right, I'm thinking like rook to g1 at some point, maybe. But first we have a4. Now rook to f1 instead. Okay. Marches the pawn up. Now he has a very, I mean, just like, look at this thing. Just like crazy, this stuff. Okay. h5 by Hans. And Volodar goes rook to h1 and king to h6. King to f2. Mobilization over here with the king and both the rooks. He's using every piece. Okay, we have a little bit of a, I wouldn't say that's a, well, that's a repetition, yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have this, and now knight to knight g6, a5, rook g5 check. Here, rook to g2 check, king to f1. There's really no more checks here. And yeah, so white resigns because despite what you're seeing, despite the fact that, you know, maybe no, just no, it's not going to work because you have two pieces for a rook and you've got two pawns more than the opponent, and you're just, I mean, no. Despite what you think, it's not true because, I mean, black is threatening all kinds of things here, and white just simply does not have the firepower to do anything about it, even though they have a rook. You know, two pieces are going to win against a rook, like, no doubt. So, nice win here for Hans. And at the time of recording this, I believe he was leading the pack of players, you know, after like round 6. So we'll see how it goes after this. I don't exactly know what's going to happen at the end, but we'll see who joins the pack of the top guys for the kickoff, you know, in, where is it, Saudi Arabia? I think it's in Saudi Arabia. But anyway, if you didn't pick anything else up besides this, just know that these are pretty exciting times for the chess world with the entrance of chess into the Esports World Cup. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe we'll have more sponsors. Maybe we'll have even more, if we can have even more prestigious tournaments. And I don't know. It's going to be some pretty fun and exciting times for chess and the whole chess world. So hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you all for the support on the channel. Make sure to check out the post if you haven't already on my channel. And please subscribe because it would mean a lot. Because if you enjoy these videos, you know, I would love to see some, you know, people also leaving comments and stuff. If you have any questions, comments, feel free. Do not hesitate to leave them down in the comments below. And thank you all for watching. May your mates be merry on the chessboard. I will see you all in the next video.